So what is up, guys? Today we'll be going over the Spidey-Verse clan so you guys get a better picture of how Marvel Duels works and what to expect when playing certain clan types. Spidey-Verse, Stark Industries, Guardians of the Galaxy, so on and so forth, and we'll do videos for that in future updates. Hydra did just drop it. We'll go over them once I get like all the feel for that type of clan, but right now they're pretty interesting. So, anyways, let's get started with the Spidey Clan. So, what makes Spidey Clan good? Good. Symbiotes and stunners. Stunners help in the long run only if you have a certain stun build being made to where you're not even hitting your opponent, but you give a lot of your guys special equipment to really like fight your opponent with. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, Spider Woman is an epic, and she gets +1 action, so she gets to attack again. So pretty much she can attack for 4, and then she can attack for 2, equaling 6. But if she dies, well, that's her fault. She's going to die, period. But she has critical hit, which means double damage. So that's not too bad. Spider-Gwen, a.k.a. Ghost Spider, has a lot going for her because when she dies, she summons a black symbiote. And if you keep starbursting her, she legit gets special powers. And as you can tell, even in the description it tells you can make Silk trigger skills multiple times. So it's a nice unit to have, especially with Silk, which we'll show you in a minute. Gwen just gives a Spidey-Verse character +2 power. Don't use it. Mysterio Suit. This is really good because most of this deck, as you can tell, is Defender class up until the 5s. Up until like the 5s, and then the 6 come back with it. But you're mostly playing this early on. This gives you freaking a symbiote. Every time your opponent hits your units, a Defender unit, which are the shield icons. As you can see here in the corner, you summon a symbiote, and your opponent has no choice to attack it, or your symbiote attacks. So that's the beauty of this. This gives you extra unit power, and that goes great with the Miles Morales combo, because Miles gives that unit an extra +5 power, which is amazing, really. I like that, because that's going to help your symbiotes just hit stronger units, and when they die, they're really decreasing the power the best they can. So I like that. So they pretty much made one for supports and they made one for defenders. Obviously, when you make a support deck, they want you to use this so your supporters do not attack and you're saving them from using up their skills when they need to be on the field. So I like that. Support weapons help the supporter not do anything, but that's what most weapons do. They make you not like move too much, depending on the weapon. Next, we got Dr. Octopus. Like I said, before attacking a stunned character, he would get +4 power. So this goes great with a nice villain build with Green Goblin. And Green Goblin, pretty much, like I said, you take no damage, which means Doc Ock can be swinging at these guys a lot while they're paralyzed, and you can get away with murder. It's really good. Sandman, after he gets attacked, you give stun to opponent. Not bad. Now, Silk is interesting because this shield goes up every time you starburst her. So every time they're killing symbiotes, she's getting a shield. And she sometimes maintains a 14 power, but you're maintaining that shield so much that 14 is going to be a really good killer in the beginning of the game. Then it starts to change up when you got to start bumping her up with like power boosters and stuff. Like I said, there's Web Surge, stun your opponent. So again, that's more for the Goblin build. Another special weapon. Deal 1 damage to 2 opponents and give them stun. So that's another one of those units. You probably just use those with Goblin, if anything. Spider-Man 2099. When a friendly Spidey-Verse character is attacked, you give an opponent stun. Like I said, Spidey has many versions. He has 2 types of ways to play. Stunning or symbiotes. I'm more of a symbiote guy. I love the unit pressure. Just to keep summoning units without like getting hit too much. But there's other decks that have like certain priorities on that too, which we'll go over. But yeah, definitely liking more of like the symbiote build than anything. So we got Mysterio. When he dies, you change a random character on the battlefield into a black symbiote. Now, he can target you or your opponent. He's legit a 50-50. He either hits you or he's going to hit your opponent. Now, I did see Mysterio hit like strong units before. But again, it's very random because you can get screwed in the end and you don't even know it. But then, this is Venom Mysterio, which is really good luck in here. You get to summon 2 black symbiotes, so again, more unit control. So if you had Miles Morales, those 2 black symbiotes, they get an extra +3, which is nice. So that's 5 and 5. I like it. Now here we go. Doppelganger Miles. So pretty much Doppelganger Miles turns into a red symbiote. And there's that red symbiote right there, and he gains critical hits. So this card is actually 2 units in one. When he dies, another unit pops out. So every time you critical hit him, his power will go up with a starburst. So when you starburst someone, their attacks pretty much double. So pretty much, if this guy got to 4 stars, that'd be a 32 red symbiote that can hit for 64 power damage because he has critical hit. We went over Goblin, like we said. Miles Morales, every time you summon units, plus 5 power. You usually try to stop your support units from attacking, so that's why you give them certain support weapons so they don't attack. Because you got to maintain these guys to give you the best combos. Black Spider-Man, oh my god, Symbiote Spider-Man here, so good. If he wins a battle, you legit, not only that, you summon symbiotes, as many symbiotes as you want, pretty much, summon 6 or the max that you can have on your field. And give your Spidey-Verse characters plus 2 power. Legit, this plus the Miles is legit 5 powers to symbiotes, and this power doubles every time you starburst. So he can summon symbiotes, and they go up to 10, and Miles brings them up to 15. That's nuts. And that's when you're losing your field control, this unit becomes really godly. And there's a way to protect them, too. Spider-Man Mask. So this is a weapon any clan can use because it has a hammer, so anyone can wear this. But it's mostly used for the Spidey-Verse characters. It says trigger the equipped character's last word skill 2 times. So you trigger it 2 times in battle, which means it's going to activate 2 times. So cards like Last Word, like Mysterio as we saw, and Superior Spider-Man right here, those last words are going to trigger a couple times, which is nice. It can help. You can give this a weapon. You can do a nice combo with this, which I'll tell you about in a sec. All right, so this is a legendary card. These are Goblin's Bombs. Special deal damage to an opponent. If they are stunned, double the damage, trigger 6 times each battle. So pretty much this is, you equipping this with Goblin is like GG. Because you're going to be stunning your opponent most games, and then you're just going to keep throwing these bombs. You don't even have to move. And it's 10 damage a pop. So that's crazy. The Goblin doesn't even have to attack. Alright, so normal Spider-Man, your Spidey-Verse characters get plus 8 power. So if he dies, all your Spidey-Verse characters gets 8 power. And he starbursts, it's going to be 16 power, so on and so forth. Which is nice. Now, at the end of Spider-Man, you defeat a Spidey-Verse character, but at the start of the next turn, return them to your hand and give them plus 8 power. So killing this during prep phase is good because this gives you a chance to starburst more than you know, and it's crazy how it functions. It's just a hard combo to pull off because it's like both are 6 cost, so this is like endgame we're talking when you're setting up a giant play for this character. I mean, if this character was starburst to like 4 stars, you're summoning freaking 5 lower cost units that are going to be at 4 stars. So again, the last word compensates the units. It's nuts. The great responsibility. Love the picture. Give a Spidey-Verse 60% armor. It's pretty good. I like it. Comes in clutch at the very end when you need to survive for that turn. So you give that to pretty much Silk, so Silk has all the juice. Or you give it to Black Symbiote, so Black Symbiote summons some more symbiotes. And so on and so forth. Goblin Glider. Another weapon for the Green Goblin. At the start of battle, get all your opponents stunned. So pretty much you have to set up 2 support units for this. If you want to play this movie just right, you have to have 2 support units. And if you get it just right, Goblin and the other support unit are going to go ham. So pretty much maybe Spider-Man 2099 and Goblin are the go-to for bombs and go-to for Goblin Glider. Because already Goblin Glider paralyzes the whole front row. So if Goblin has a lot of attack, it's game, bro. It's game. So there's other units that actually do power up attack, by the way. There's ways to power them up even further. That's why it's crazy. And this card's just an event once per battle. When the 8th Spidey-Verse characters defeat in battle, summon a copy of them with double more power. I mean, the 8th Spidey-Verse character, it's possible, but your symbiotes are taking up most of that pretty much most of that kill. So this card's like kind of useless. So without further ado, that is our go-to talk on the Spidey-Verse clan. Hopefully this kind of shed a light on how this deck can play in 2 different forms. Hopefully it did help you understand it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for another clan review as we go over Iron Man, my other favorite. So be good, stay safe, and until next time, homies.